Stop appropriating my culture. Hee Zeus is now Jupiter. People imagining how ancient monuments were built. Quick slave, build me another 50 pyramids. Yes master. How they were actually built. I've built a whole village for you and 3 other workers to live in while you work, and it won't be taken from your payment. Thanks my pharaoh. This war is a living hell. If I could be in one of these scientific expeditions far away from the front. Meanwhile in Antarctica, our ship has been prisoner from the ice for 2 years now, and since there is a world war nobody is going to help us. Hey, honor us with the incense. Yeah sure. We need more incense. Spaniards smell horrible. We do not have Wi-Fi. Talk to each other, pretend it's 1995. Former Yugoslavians. Cool bug facts. The highest honor in journalism is being murdered by the CIA. Hitler dies. The world. Hooray. The Dutch. Hitler did. What now? Don't do war. World leaders. How will you enforce that? Everybody making jokes, but we lucky the Swiss never entered the world wars. Hello. Yes, this is Dog. Your wife was launched into space. Romans, we don't like kings. Augustus, what if I'm a king, but I call myself an emperor? Romans, you son of a bitch. I'm in. The church has never done anything good in history. The Pope blessing Pokemon franchise in 2000. American astronauts give the Dutch Prime Minister a moon rock. Dutch decide to get it tested and turns out to petrified wood. American astronauts, you weren't supposed to do that. Never ask a woman her age. A man, his salary. Imperial Japan. Why, we know, since World War II, that humans are around 72% water. The child of some prostitute throwing stones at the crowd in ancient Athens. Diogenes. Take care that you don't hit your father. Me 2000 plus years later. 17-year-olds in 1945 thinking that they won't have to go to war. The same guy 5 years later in Korea. Germany. Soviets losing 20,000 tanks. I'll call an ambulance. Soviets coming back with 40,000 more 5 months later. But not for me. Kyo. Svante Pääbo secretly decoding an Egyptian mummy's DNA. Svante Pääbo finding Swedish DNA. Svante Pääbo realizing it's his own. Stupid ducking British, you weren't even close to dropping that bomb on the dam. Wait, did you just bounce the water? Hydrogen floats on air. Fill balloon with hydrogen. Fly. White racists, go back to Africa. Black people, hold on. This whole operation was your idea. The Vietnamese realizing they're fighting the Waffen-SS instead of the French. Spielberg filming the horrors of the Holocaust. Spielberg the next day looking at 3D dinosaurs. Hades in Greek mythology. Hades in Western movies. Most people, elevators are too dangerous for human transportation. What if the cable snaps? Elisha Otis. Look mom. No cable. Haiti's first president Jean-Jacques Dessalines called Polish people the white Negroes of Europe, which was then regarded a great honor. Haiti. Poland. N-word pass. First man in space. First man on the moon. 46 presidents, 1 civil war, 61 kings, 3 major civil wars, 2 kings, 8 dictators, 30 presidents, 5 coups, 1 former dictator elected president, biggest corruption history scandal. Roman legionary, Italian World War II soldier. We have no idea how they made Greek fire. Must be myth. Do you know how to make Greek fire? Of course, I have the recipe on my fridge. Medieval cities in cartoons. Medieval cities in reality. The best man at a wedding today. The best man at a wedding in 16th century Scotland. In 1714, a Norwegian captain and an English captain had a 14-hour-long ship fight. Afterwards, both ships were severely damaged, and the Norwegian captain was running out of ammo. He sent an envoy to the English ship, asking if he could borrow some of their ammo. They said no. Tuskegee Syphilis Study 1932. If you participate you will get free medical treatment. Okay. 20 years later. I don't feel so good. Have some more medicine. 20 years later, 1972. Dies. Interesting. 1974 America declassified invasion plans for Canada made in the 1920s. German tank designer. German tank commander. We designed this tank with interlocking wheels, so you can have a smooth ride whenever you go. Thanks, that will help me aim and kill so many enemy tank. Logistic officer. Maintenance crew. She said. Some random Australian police officer in 1880. Damn, it sure is a nice day. A 25-year-old outlaw wearing 45 kilos of armor, steel plate armor. You what, mate? World War II veterans. Another silly World War II movie. Let's see how inaccurate this one is. Those same veterans watching Saving Private Ryan. People, men dressed and acted like men back in the day. Men back in the day. The Catholic Church in reality. Witches are real. They're real. For the last time, they are not real. Meanwhile in Salem. Burn them. Satan spawn. Duck tomatoes. Drown them. Witches. Antithesis YouTuber. The Romans never wrote about Jesus, so clearly he was a fictional man. 12-year-old me. Wow, really? My entire worldview has changed. Roman record keeping. Lol, I just wrote that the previous emperor went and prostituted himself at taverns. Just in time to I finally finish smashing those statues of him for the new one. Strength. 3,400,000 plus. 2 million. 10 million. All combatants. Casualties and losses. Total dead. 20 to 30 million. 10 million combatants, but up to 30 million deaths, if my calculations are correct. War crimes. First French soldier to reach the Loreto Fort. Mexican artilleryman with a cannonball on his hands. Modern human skull, male. Hunter-gatherer skull, male. Embrace agriculture. You can't feed yourself only by hunting nowadays. No. The literally too angry to die squad. The guy that saw just a lonely plane reach Hiroshima. Stupid Americans. What damage could they possibly think to achieve with only one plan? When you get told that only half of the Soviet troops got rifles, but it was because the other half got SMGs. Norway in the Middle Ages. Norway in the rest of history. Norway now. European legends. He who can pull this sword from the earth is the rightful king of Britain. Hawaiian legends. He who can move this big ass rock will unify the islands. You are without a doubt the worst Mesopotamian copper merchant I've ever heard of, but you have heard of me. Oedipus was pretty tragic. At least it all ended with him. His daughter. Make sure the cave is airtight, boys. When you're a woman living in the 1600s and you accidentally do math, the townsfolk verbally ordering Stalin not to purge you. Sending Stalin a letter explicitly threatening to kill him. Smashing a plate in Stalin's face and berating him in front of his staff. Slapping Stalin in the face so hard you break his pipe. Brutally beating Stalin on a regular basis for years. Zeus, Hera, Literally anyone else. I control the Silk Road. Nobody gets spices and linen but through me. Anyway lads, I build this big ass boat, we can use it to sail around this jackass. So glad I grew up doing this, not this. Never ask a woman her age, a man, his salary, what the West Berlin government did to homeless children. John M. Browning in 1921 making a heavy machine gun that's used by the US Army for the next 100 plus years, because no one came up with something better. 48 US states. A unique shape of our land is a great way to have an identity of our own. Colorado and Wyoming. Oh boy, I can't wait to finish my shift at that dead priest's tomb. Should be an easy day. A state's right to what, Daphne? Successfully measures the circumference of the earth within 1% of error. 2,200 years ago, using a stick. Imagine being described as capital of the world, but not even being the capital of your own state. This meme was made by the Rome gang. Orpheus and Eurydice. Just got a not luck back, this is too easy. 2 seconds later. The Pope. You think this is funny? Michelangelo, painting the gates of hell behind his throne. When you're a slave in 1930s Ethiopia, but then white supremacists invade your country and set you free. Thanks, Satan. A European teaching American history in the US. You probably don't know this, but Vietnam won. Modern boys waking up. I don't want to wake up. Roman men waking up. Thanks Sol Invictus for waking me up. You're welcome Amicus. Insane to think Charles Darwin and Steve Irwin both owned the same tortoise. 1835. You're the best Harriet. Love you too Darwin. 1995. Stop giving me your toughest battles. It is literally your job. Give me harder battles. What the duck? Germany getting blamed for both world wars. You think this is funny? Austria. Philippines. Guam. Hawaii. Puerto Rico. You like imperialism don't you America? We don't think American audience are going to understand this, and the movie is too long. We would like to edit this movie to make it more family friendly. No cuts. Let a serial rapist in charge of NKVD. Stalin. I sleep. He's alone with your daughter. Stalin. Real shit. Advanced civilization with great architectural no. It was made by aliens. Hitler was stupid to invade Russia in winter. My brother in Christ. Barbarossa began in June. Zeus, I rule the skies. Poseidon, I rule the seas. Artemis. Today I'm running around Greece with a pack of wild lesbians. To Mexico from Germany. Hey, wanna team up and beat up America? Mommy, why is the sky orange? I don't know honey, let's get back home. 30,000 kids realizing the sailors giving them passage to the Holy Land are gonna sell them into slavery instead. That moment when you have to explain you don't have the money for welfare or housing for the homeless, but do have the money for a $2 trillion war on the other side of the planet. Italians in World War II. Italians in New York City. How may I get faith in Christ? I see. Spends 14 years writing an amateur translation of the Bible into the Massachusetts language. When you got to go to war, but your mom tells you to take your brother too. So I should die with my brother? Pirates in fiction. I'm gonna steal all your money then eat you alive. No, you are a maniac. Pirates in reality. Regarding the economic crisis we are facing, I have no other choice but to rob you. Don't worry, I won't hurt you. I'm not a savage. No problem, I know there's nothing personal there. If Germany hadn't invaded other countries, the other countries would have ignored the Jew concentration camps. Britain in British history. Britain in everyone else's history. Ernest Hemingway in World War II. Where are the Nazis? So I can kill them. So they left a long time ago. In that case I'll have 51 dry martinis. Your country invents the steam engine 100 years before everyone else. The inventor only used it to spin kebabs. Nostalgic person. I wish we could go back to the good old days. Literally every historian. When you are one of the most progressive ancient civilizations, but a slave state of pedophiles fought a suicidal battle against you, and now you're remembered as the bad guys. They don't know I'm emperor of the Romans. Medieval art be like. The 30th of September 1999. Honey, I'm off to work. See you tonight. Get home in time today. I'm cooking something special. The crew of a Soviet destroyer watching from front row seats as the US Navy disembowels the Iranian Navy during Operation Praying Mantis in 1988. History nerds will turn 14 and then base their personality on one of these. Me explaining the brutal reality of World War I combat. The girl at the party who's only in the bathroom with me because I have cocaine. Basque people visiting Iceland after 1615. A law which allows Icelandic people to legally kill any Basques on sight. Gets plenty of exercise, drinks pure water, breathes pollution-free air, eats free-range organic diet, dead by age 35. I'm gonna get close to this group of humans. What's the worst that can happen? Thousands of years later. Japanese military during World War II forces thousands of women into being comfort girls for troop morale. The US. Norway will never give in to the Nazis. I would sooner go into exile than surrender, and would abdicate rather than recognize Quisling as prime minister. Collaborating with the Nazis was necessary. What we think people from the 14th century would be mind blown by. What they'd really be mind blown by. The Brits in Brit history books. The Brits in every other history book. Ancient Celts when the sun shines through their cool rock pile and the pig is ready for slaughter. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. How can people not care about the Library of Alexandria? Do they not care about all that lost knowledge? What everyone thinks Vikings looked like. How Vikings actually looked like. Human civilization when it comes to a most very topic trough out history. Humans when it comes to agreeing on that music is awesome. Imagine being a farmer being dragged to war for 5 months, and then you see a mother ducker wearing this shit charging towards you. Hey buddy, eyes up here. No. Ruining the ancient culture by destroying pagan temples and statues. Saving the ancient culture by translating and preserving the work of pagan writers and philosophers. This one's looking at both of us at the same time. Christian church. Chattering. The Germans. Stalin's son. Stalin. Do you have any better hostages? President Kennedy. Do you know how to put men on the moon yet? NASA. No. President Kennedy. Be a lot cooler if you did. This war is hell. If only it was like the wars of the past where it was only about honor and short battles. 1 century earlier. Today I lost 80% of my platoon, and I had no other choice but to eat my horse to survive. Muhammad searching for another wife. 6-year-old Aisha. Fools with a time machine. Me with a time machine. For the love of God eat the ducking lipiter. Who are you? France calculating how much Germany should pay for the World War I war reparations. A Scandinavian person meeting one of their gods. Oh look, it's Frigga. I will aid you in battle and instruct you how to find a good mate, if this is what you want. A Greek person meeting one of their gods. Oh look, it's Athena. Prepare Uranus. Man, May 18th 1980, and what a gorgeous day. I sure am glad I woke up at the crack of dawn to hike up the summit. McManus on his way to becoming an ace. Only 2 more hunts to go, lads. When he sees what's inside the plane he shoot down. There is no salvation for me. Romans and their dogs. Welcome to our new family. 15 years later, I'm in tears while carrying you to your last resting place. Medieval European historians. The battle was so catastrophic and bloody, God has truly abandoned us. Army sizes: 1,000 and 1,200. Casualties: 47. Establishing dictatorships. Destroying dictatorships. The United States. Damn it, I hate being on the front. I wish I could be in one of these forts where nothing bad can happen. Meanwhile in Fort de Vaux, I'm so thirsty that I'm licking the moisture on our walls to survive. It's not a war crime if the victims were. Heaviest Japanese tank. Lightest M4 Can't believe I got an infection in that river. Guess I'll die soon. I shall soon join you, my love. We shall weigh your heart against this feather. If it's heavier, then you will be eaten by a demon. Adam, it's 4 PM. Time to eat the forbidden fruit and doom the whole humanity to a life of struggles, pain and toil. Yes, talking rib. Western culture nowadays. Did you know that many Roman emperors like Septimius Severus were African, so they were black? Not sure about that. Racist. Septimius Severus 1800 years ago. Why are you black? I'm from Africa, sir. I'm from Africa too, and I haven't never seen anyone like you. This is a bad omen. London, 1912. Strike. Okay, your children will starve then. We will feed your children. Thank you, brother. London, 1936. No Jews on our streets. You can't beat us alone. Alone. Come on, lads, we've got fascists to beat up. Nazi officers who supposedly killed themselves seeing each other in Argentina. I can't believe Caesar is really taking us to Britain. Who knows what kind of loot we'll find. Probably tons of golden temples ready to be plundered. Do you guys even practice agriculture? Strange looking blokes, ain't they? Hope they stay away from our rock pile. Jesters in fiction. Please stop making fun of me. I only wish to be freed from this living nightmare. Jesters in reality. I'm fed, clothed, well paid. I can insult the king without consequences, and I'm in some cases among his most important advisors. Death. Coming to take Sisyphus. I will bind you with my chains. Could I hold the chains first? Sure, my man. When you're a teacher in 1950 and see a student picking up the pen with left hand. Hi kid, do you like violence? Religions over the tiniest details. Religions agree that flood myths are cool. War is hell. War is hell. You have no idea how angry I'm right now at you. I'm sorry, my king. Please don't hurt me. Don't worry. I forgive you. Really? Yes, and I will give you this nice elephant. Thank you, my king. Point of view. You survived the Paraguayan War. I'll be beheaded tomorrow. Can you help me with my last experiment? I need you to measure how long I can keep blinking with my head chopped off. Sure, buddy, you can count on me. English nobility versus Spanish nobility. Today I will have eggs and butter. Of course, my lady. Today I will have a clay pot. And what will you eat? I will eat the clay pot. Teachers wheeling in a TV so the little kids could watch the Challenger space shuttle launch live. The Challenger explodes. Berserkers in movies. I just killed 50 enemy soldiers. You are so cool. Berserkers in history. I just killed 50 enemy soldiers. Stay away from me and my family, outcast. Someone, why do all Asians look the same? Genghis Khan. Good question. The Nazis were old one if. The only way the Nazis cold won is if they weren't Nazis. Stalin having a stroke. His guards thinking it's another one of his tests. Never ask a woman her age, a man, his salary, or Britain how they got so many artifacts in their museum. USA talking about freedom and democracy. USA spreading freedom and democracy. We need to change Fenrir at all cost. Any ideas? Then you're in luck, because we forged a chain. We just need someone to trick Fenrir. Yo bro, wanna see a magic trick? Of course T. Just don't put that chain on me. Pinky swear. Okay, but put your hand in my mouth, so I can be sure. Knights were so cool. They had their code of honor, and only fought for just causes. So true. Also knights. Damn, killing all these peasants made me kinda horny. Time to go rape some nuns I guess. Pharaoh. Build my pyramid slave. Hebrew. You are a cruel tyrant. Pharaoh. While you are unemployed between growing seasons, I'll give you a job and beer. Egyptian. Duck, yeah, I'm in. John Lennon after making a song called Working Class Hero as he makes hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm extraordinary humble. We went into exile after Nazi Germany invaded our country, but our heir will be born in Canada, making her not eligible for Dutch throne. No worries, we just declare the maternity ward of the hospital she was born temporarily not Canadian territory. You promise not to cry. Yes. 90% of history went unrecorded and a lot of it is lost forever. I promise. How most people think Switzerland saw World War II. How Switzerland actually saw World War II. Our island is so rich in phosphate that we have now the second largest GDP in the world. With so much money our future can only be bright. Few years later, phosphate is worth nothing. We haven't invested our money anywhere and now we are one of the poorest country in the world. France and British Empire. Slaves are black. Ottoman Empire. Slaves are white. Nazi Germany. Everyone who isn't Aryan is slave. Roman Empire. Slaves are slaves. Ancient Romans. Look what I made. It's say no more. It's obvious. We don't even have to write it down. Archaeologists today. What did they use it for? Too late. 500 years too late. How the duck did these natives manage to move such big rocks without any machine? A few centuries before. Hey Rangi. So I have just built this statue and I've put it there thanks to say no more. It's already obvious. Boomers. People having fought in both world wars and gotten through the stock market crash. Let's crash two locomotives together they said. It'll be a cool publicity stunt they said. We'll even have free admission to watch they said. When a nearby ship switches to a black pirate flag, that's not very nice. When it switches to a red one, we're all gonna die. Sir, our soldiers are not working at their full potential. What do we do? German officer, give them speed. Darwin. What the duck are barnacles? I miss my love and I will die for the fatherland. Your leaders have weird balls. For duck's sake stop raiding our lands. What are you gonna do to stop us? Build a wall. Proceeds to build a wall. Duck. When it's at any point of history and he says he owns land. After getting late to class, George Dante copied from the blackboard 2 problems thinking they were homework and then solved them. They were actually 2 famous unsolved statistics problems, which earned him his PhD. His teacher, George Danzig. The United States was built off the backs of slaves. Rest of the world. Malcolm X after visiting Mecca and realizing his entire worldview was just a twisted bastardization by the Nation of Islam. What have I done? American justice in World War II. For crimes against humanity I sentence you to 4 years in prison. Okay. Soviet justice in World War II. The minute you stop playing the piano, you're dead. Ready, set, go. It's so badass when people stand in front of shit they destroyed. Got this position in chess.com. How do I save my king? Tankies be like, Russia did nothing wrong and Poles hate it, only because of a US propaganda. My brother in Christ. We hated Russia before USA even became a thing. Hitler, hey Japan, could you be a doll and attack Stalin from the east so we can take Moscow? Japan, actually we just bombed Pearl Harbor instead. Hitler, you what? Belgium in Europe. Belgium in the Congo. Belgium in World Wars. I aim for the stars, but I keep hitting London. Wernher von Braun. Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Make sure you have the high ground. Genius, thank you. Hey church, now that we are Christian, can we still celebrate Yule? No. Can we throw Jesus a birthday party? Yeah, okay. Apparently the Vikings are extremely afraid of the ace of spades as it represents death for them. We should put it all over their corpses to freak them out. Hey Kwang, apparently the Americans have started putting aces of spades pretty much everywhere they go. Must be an American tradition. Listen to the natives and don't eat polar bear liver. Get horrific vitamin A poisoning. English Arctic explorers. Me, mom, why do I only have one set of grandparents? Mom, your dad and I married each other to keep our family's bloodline pure. Me. I'm going to crack his skull to get rid of his headache. Traveling Muslim cleric. European monk. Female mummies in ancient Egypt were always more decomposed than their male counterparts. They discovered that this was because male bodies were embalmed a lot sooner than female bodies. Female bodies were kept at the family home until they started to decompose in order to avoid necrophilia at the embalmers. I'm once again asking what the duck is wrong with people. When it is illegal to expose the illegal things the government does. Africa has thousands of different cultures, with tribes varying in size. Europeans drawing the borders, rectangles. You'll ever notice that the Washington Monument looks absolutely nothing like George Washington. 5 mass extinctions events, including the Permian, that killed over 95% of ocean animals. Horseshoe crabs. Shooting Teddy Roosevelt. He doesn't die. He refuses to go to a doctor. He gives his speech. He starts mocking your assassination attempt. How the duck did Hitler get away with having a sidekick named Himmler? That's like Luigi and Waluigi tier bullshit. Ben Moore 2253. Me, trying to sleep in peacefully. My brain half woken up giving me explicit instructions to build a brick castle out of my bedsheets.